Alright, enough of that. This vid's all about Maven boss rushing. I'll go over the setup for the strat, how to run the strat, which items to get, and a full breakdown of all the loot that I got running this strat for 40 maps. So let's begin. First off, go to the trade site and buy your maps. You can do this on TFT too, but if you're feeling lazy, just go here, search up any Guardian map by name, and find someone that has multiple listings of the same map. This same person will also probably have bulk of the other maps, so buy that and go next. Now you need to idols. So search up Shaper Guardian map drop chance from the final boss, trade search, and then sort by the highest chance. Here you'll see these are way overpriced and you don't need a maximum roll of these idols anyway, so search 2.3 instead. In other aspects of life, the last 0.1 matters, but in this one, it does not. So alternatively, you can also just set a maximum price of 30C and then sort your idols by highest drop chance that way. And do not spend more than 30C on any of these idols. It is not necessary whatsoever. All right, now you can play the game. Grab your map, make sure you scour it, and make sure you activate Maven Witness. You don't have to scour the map, but it makes it easier. And then activate it and go inside. Once inside the map, make sure to try to kill as many monsters as you can on the way to the boss room, as this makes Maven spawn more bosses for your witnessing. The fewer the monsters that are remaining in the map, the more bosses that Maven spawns in the end. As you can see, I also had Delirium in almost all of my maps. That is thanks to the idols. Some of them had chance to spawn a Delirium mirror. So if you can get it, then get it, because having some extra Delirium orbs in the end just helps for the final loot breakdown, and why not? Once you reach the boss room, you don't have to wait for Maven to cast her ability. This was fixed so that now she always summons extra bosses, even if you one-shot the boss before she activates. Chimera is the only frustrating boss fight since it has multiple phases. Deli Fog helps in this because it sort of freezes unique bosses sometimes, so you can phase him before he uses his Shadow Bomb. Once you finish all the phases, just kill the Guardian, pick up your loot, and go to the next map. Don't be like me. If your daily hasn't ended yet, please click this button to end it and get your daily rewards. So continue on, kill the Hydra, the Phoenix, immediately respond to someone wanting to buy your idols because buying idols is miserable. You know it, I know it, and you know what they say. Change begins with you. Once you're done making the world a better place, kill the last Guardian, and now it's time for the final step, which is doing the formed invitation. Now, Kirak has this in his inventory, so just grab some Alex and scours and roll this until it's something you can easily run. Try to hit for like 50 or 60% quant. More is better, but it's not necessary. So once you're done rolling, you can now go into the map, get your chiefs clapped by Phoenix, respawn, and finish the invitation. Pick up your loot, and congratulations, you finished one whole rotation. Now, the next step, which is doing this over and over again until you get sick of it. Once you are finally sick of it, you can now go and drop all of your hard-earned loot into your big quad tab, and you're done. So this is the end of my 40 map set, and I'll quickly clean this tab up to show you how much I made. So give me, to the power of editing, exactly 1 second. All right, after meticulously cleaning this tab up like a clean freak on crack, this is our loot. I found an absolute metric ton of idols. These are a lot of them, and I'll show you what to do with them afterwards. I found a few Conqueror idols. I got pretty unlucky on these, honestly. I should have gotten more, but I didn't. I got way more of the other ones. I got a few Delirium Orbs, some Simulacrum Splinters. I even found some Omens, surprisingly. Found a total of 6 Awakened Gems. Only 2 of them were extra spicy, and the rest of them were pretty average at 30 to 40C. Found 6 Maven's Writs, 6 Orbs of Conflict, 2 Odysseys with the King, some random currency, found a raw div, 2 by the way, some Shaper Fragments, extra ones from the invitations, plus the 10 base that I was supposed to find from running all 10 sets. I found some Scarabs, but mostly the Maven Chisels are where I got extremely unlucky. These aren't weighted. I'm pretty sure the Scarab one is worth like 70C, and the rest are worth basically nothing. So I could have gotten extremely lucky if I got like 10 Scarab Chisels. It could have been insane. I also found a lot of Reflective Mist, so I have some mirrored items here. Not sure if these are worth anything. I didn't price check anything. I just dumped them in here. Same thing with stack decks. I found a few of those from Sentinels, and I also found 2 fractured items, tier 1 Chaos Cold Res, Tier 2 Cold Res. I'm not sure if these are worth anything either. Didn't check them. Will probably check them afterwards. Not going to include these in the profit in the end. Just wanted to show them. Same thing with the maps. Found some useful maps. Removed all the excess trash maps that aren't important. Also found some mortal fragments as well from the daily rewards, etc. Now, the main thing, the glorious thing, is I found 84 Shaper Guardian maps while running 40 maps. So I over sustained heavily. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 full sets and a few broken sets, and I'll show you in the end how you can form a full sets with those two, so you can sell a rice whole number of sets after you're done with them. Found 6 tier 17 maps as well, which is surprising. 4 Conqueror maps, 5 Elder maps, and 4 Synthesis maps, which is pretty good. But the main thing are the Shaper ones. Those idols went insane. Speaking of idols, so as I said, these idols, just remember them. I'll come back to them in the end. But first, let's see how much we made from all the other stuff, excluding the idols. So let's go. All right, so here we are in Wealthy Exile. If you don't know what this is, it's basically a way to price check entire stash tabs. I've got my 2 tabs filled in here. And now that I'm just going to press refresh, it will find all the items in those stashes and show all the prices right here. So here we have it. It's 28 divines worth of loot in the end in both of those stashes combined. Again, excluding the idols, and all of this stuff is pure liquefiable currency. None of this is stuff that you won't be able to immediately sell. It's the chisels, it's the maps, it's the deli orbs, it's the raw currency, the awakened gems, the omens. Almost half of this can be sold on the currency exchange. And if it can't be sold on the currency exchange, then it can be bulk sold or individually sold in your trade stash. So don't worry about it. So to break this down even further, we found 10 divines worth of pure maps. That's the T17s, the Shaper Guardians, and everything else. And the rest of it, it's all from the writs, the Orbs of Conflict, the Shaper Guardian fragment sets, and the Awakened gems. So basically 60 to 70% of all of your profit came from the actual Maven invitations and the Maven witnessing, and the rest is just the extra, like the scarabs, the raw divine drop, the maps, like not the guardian maps, but the extra maps and the omens, stuff like that. But the main loot came from just Maven being Maven and how good boss rushing can be. Even if you remove all of that, it still comes up to almost like 24 to 25 div. So keep that in mind as we now go into the profit calculations. So I spend 9C per map, and 4 maps is 1 total set. So 9 times 4 is 36. Now you can easily run a lot of these sets. I only ran 10 for the purposes of this showcase, but doing way more than that is very plausible, and I'll show you why in the end when I tell you exactly how much time I spent running these. So 10 sets, 360C, and right now at the time of recording, Divine's at 160, so that's 2.25 divs for 10 sets. Now just in case the Shaper Guardian map prices go up somehow, I'm just going to put in 2.8 divs as the amount that I spent buying the maps. So by that logic, our revenue in the end is 25.2 subtracted from the 28 divs that we made. So I took 10 minutes per set, 10 sets, that is 100 minutes, which is 1.6 hours. So 25.2 divided by 1.6 is a whopping 15.75 divs an hour running this, which is pretty damn insane. I know you can push this even further by doing a set in 8 minutes if you have a faster build. Mine is not fast. So 80 minutes divided by 60 is 1.3, which is nuclear in terms of profit. It's almost 20 div an hour. And that's only pure liquid currency that you can sell almost instantly. So done with that. All right, so now to show a bit about how to sell all the loot that you got, starting with the Shaper Guardian maps. So with this, you need to sell them in a full set. You can't have like 20.1 shaper sets, right? So in order to do that, you need all of them to be the same. So you use Horizon Orbs to re-roll your additional maps to have a full set. So here I actually have exactly the right number of maps that I need to have a total of 21 Shaper Guardian sets after re-rolling the rest of them into Phoenix maps. So 21 maps, and that's done. Now I'll put those on TFT and they'll sell very easily. All right, the idols is pretty damn simple. It's a three-step process. Step one, this. All right, once you're done giving yourself carpal tunnel, now you can move on to step two, which is to clear out the rest of the items in your stash. All right, once you're done with this, now there's two different ways to go about it. The first one is you can put an exact price on the entire tab. So here, exact price, you're going to put 20C, and then a very important step, you're going to walk away from the stash. Just walk away, go to your waypoint, and just go to King's March or go to like the Menagerie, right? And then once you're fully loaded in, give it a second. Yeah, so your entire chat will blow up with people whispering you for all the different idols. You'll have your lowballers, your scammers, your Asian flippers, all that stuff, right? And I can't keep up with this. No one can. So what you want to do here, you want to put on /DND, and you can do two things. You can either fish out the items that people really want, like this guy offering 6 div. This item was actually worth 9 div in the end after checking. So put DND on and don't do that. You can if you want to. That's one way if you don't have time. Or if you do have time, then just take the bigger items like the Conqueror idols and put them in a separate dump tab and price that tab at like, start off at 10 div. If no one buys anything, bring it down to 9, 8, 7, 6. And do the same thing with the other idols, put them up for 50. Most of these go for 50 to 100C. I'll be happy if I sell them for 50. If I get hardcore spammed at 50, that means it's still not worth 50, it's worth way more. Then you can raise the price of that afterwards. But this way, you won't get your entire chat blown up. Another thing you can do is if you have some cheaper idols or idols that just aren't selling, you can 3-to-1 them at the vendor, try to get a different one. It's a slow process, but you can try it. You need 3 rare ones to get a rare idol back, or you need 3 magic ones to get a magic idol back. So if I can find a magic one, there it is. So put 3 magic ones in there and you get back a magic idol. It's not the best way to do it, but you can maybe do it, especially like with Conqueror idols. So that's all. That's Maven boss rushing with idols, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.